Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship. Warning.
Attention please. In accordance with Decree 10/20/2020, adopted under the Public Health Act, you are ordered as a participant in a demonstration to wear a face covering. You are also ordered to keep at least 2 meters from each other. Refusal to obey either of these orders makes you liable to a fine ranging from 1,000 to 60,000.
Not enough freedom, you know? There's too many people that dying from not eating, not drinking, you know? And it's important to everyone to have to know that we can be all equal in this world.
Humidity on a mask, under a mask, is a breeding ground for bacteria, okay? So somebody cannot tell me that that's not true.
This is what we have to do. Stop basing it on fear and quick reaction and basing it on science. That's what I'm asking. David Menzies for Rebel News here in Montreal. Well, folks, it's just after noon, and there is a huge anti-lockdown demonstration occurring here. Thousands of people are here, and you know, talk about herd immunity. There is a police presence, but they are on the periphery. They are allowing all these citizens to exercise their right of assembly, their freedom of speech, and that's not to say they're going to respect those rights because the day is young, so things might change. But for now, thousands are marching right past Olympic Stadium, and the message is clear. Enough is enough. They are tired of the lockdowns. They are tired of businesses going bankrupt. They are tired of thousands and thousands of Canadians losing their jobs. The cure is worse than the curse, clearly. And these Quebecers are saying it's time for Premier Legault to change his tune. It's time for him to open up the province. Let's see what happens. That's one heck of a hat, I gotta tell you. It looks like a ventilation pipe with a face mask on it. What's the story?
It's all about bullshit. For a year we've had bullshit, so this is as good as a curfew. This is for COVID-19, and this is for the variant.
What kind of reaction are you getting to your headwear, sir?
People are happy. They're just happy. They understand about the bullshit of all this. Yeah.
You see the people there at the commerce? Go do the march and go do it backward. Go ask every commerce. Every patriots here, they stop at the commerce, they buy beer, they buy some snacks, they buy some foods. We're here for liberty, we're here for freedom, we're here to live our fucking Quebecers right. The one thing now all of our government wants to do is to tax us with climate change, tax us with everything. But what is the fucking deal of taxing people when people are here suffering, people losing their job, people putting in lockdown? Wow, we need to step up. We're all here to stand up in the fucking Olympic Stadium. We're here for freedom. Vive le Québec libre.
Thank you. Folks, I interrupt this video for a very urgent message. You know it's only a matter of time before the Silicon Valley tech giants come and crush Rebel News, or at least try to crush Rebel News once and for all. We're not going to let that happen. Please go to rebelnews.com. That's rebelnews.com. We need you to sign up with us there on our website. We need your phone number. We need your email address. We do not share your personal information with anyone else. But if we can get that information from you, you can maintain your relationship with Rebel News going forward in the future.
When we first started, we said 2 weeks to stop the curve. We tried the 2 weeks. At the beginning, we said close the borders. The Canadian government slurred all of Canadians, saying if we close the borders, then we're racist. You know what? We were not slurred by them. They slurred themselves because they told a lie, and we see the truth.
And sir, tell me, are you worried that even if you don't get a ticket from the Montreal police today, we've noticed a very disturbing trend in recent weeks, and that is people like you and everybody here at this anti-lockdown protest going into work on Monday, they're called into the office, they're either disciplined or even fired if they're professionals, the threat of having their credentials revoked. What do you make of that kind of intimidation?
You know what? Be intimidated. We're gonna lose everything. You see where this is going? We all know where this is going. If you don't stand up right now, you will lose everything. You will have no job in the future. The 2030 reset, they say they want you to own nothing, and then you're gonna rent everything. Do you want to be a renter for the rest of your life?
Technically, we're all breaking the law here. We're gathering in numbers. We are not wearing masks and so on and so forth. We've had very bad experiences with the Montreal police. Last night, we were following them in the Jewish community, giving huge tickets out to people just walking to a family dinner. How do you think the Montreal police is going to interact with this mass demonstration today?
I hope they will respect the crowd, but I'm not sure because, as you know, they're very aggressive in brackets. But I'm saying to people, if you have a ticket, just do like me, contest it. All these tickets are illegal and unconstitutional. You don't have to pay it. Go and see your lawyer and contest it, and you will win because we just need one person in court to win, and after that, we'll have a case law. So I hope that they will respect us today, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see together what will happen.
And I think you're right. I think the vast majority, if not all of them, are going to be thrown out, Mr. Bernier. But what does that say of our political leaders, our bureaucrats, the health bureaucrats, the police even? It seems that we're in a Canada where they're espousing fear and intimidation tactics. They're making you think you're breaking the law when you're really just embracing the Constitution. What do you have to say about that kind of governance that we're enduring right now?
That's a tyranny. That's not governing, respecting the rule of law, respecting our Constitution. And these politicians will have to be in front of their population maybe this fall at the next general election. And I believe that people will remember that. They will remember who was there with them to fight against these draconian measures that they are imposing on us. And at the end, we're not breaking the law. We are only here to just say to people, we are in a free country and we want to stay in a free country.
Yeah, you wear the mask, but what about wearing masks long term? Why can't someone actually come forward and say the consequences of wearing masks for long periods of time? What about the contamination that we could spread even more bacteria and viruses with the breeding ground of there's basically wearing a mask. It's like a process, right? There's a humidity could actually be humidity on a mask, under a mask, is a breeding ground for bacteria. Okay, so somebody cannot tell me that that's not true, right? And then after the bacteria and viruses accumulate, and then we could spread that around. So
you got to look at the prevention before it happened. A lot of people are taking medication that's screwing up their immune systems. The way they're treating them in the long care facilities. It's only now that they're making better decisions, getting better equipment, getting things going in these long-term facilities. Because my wife told me that when COVID hit, they were saying there's not enough equipment for all the orderlies. You got 6 pairs of gloves. You were putting infected people with non-infected. There was nothing. So about a year ago, you look at today, it's like night and day. Now what you said about, is it worse? Now, like you said, the measures are there implemented. Yes, it is. My kid is suffering from anxiety in school since they've been mandatory wearing the masks. I work for the city of Montreal. I'm obliged to wear a mask all the time. I'm getting headaches. You're seeing people's psychological health. That's something we don't take in consideration. You look at people's liberty, the way the police officers are taking their measures out of way. They're supposed to serve us. I'm telling you, this is one thing that we got to understand, that we live in a democracy. And in a democracy, we have rules and we have laws to protect the citizen. I know we're in a pandemic, but can we use science for once? Can we stop using fear tactics? Science is what put people on the moon, for God's sake. This is what we have to do. Stop basing it on fear and quick reaction and basing it on science. That's what I'm asking.
It's time that we stop letting these politicians say that Quebec is divided with Alberta. Quebec's divided with the rest of the West. We're not all divided. When I flew across this country, this last time, I didn't see no border lines. I flew straight across Canada. I never saw a line saying this was Manitoba, this was, Ontario. There's no borders. Why are they blocking it? And it says right in your Canadian passport. It's a sad thing that you got to carry your Canadian passport in your own country. Just because on the opening page of it, it says the Minister of Foreign Affairs duly asks that you cover your oath to protect the bearer of this document to travel forth between provinces, between borders, unimpeded and unhindered. And that when at times to give protection and security to that bearer of this document. I had to use that.
Well, folks, I'm with Mike Baer of Free Speech Media, and a very interesting thing happened to Mike on the way to Montreal yesterday night. And what happened when you crossed the Ontario-Quebec border?
Well, we were stopped arbitrarily. They took our colleague Alan Calder, pulled him out of the vehicle, had him on the ground, kneeled on his back, arrested him.
But why? Why?
Well, apparently you have to submit your ID even if you're not a driver. They took my ID. They didn't issue me a ticket. They turned us around and escorted us back out of the province with 5 Quebec police cars.
This is the Quebec Provincial Police?
Well, I think it was actually the Montreal Police.
The Montreal Police?
Yeah. Yeah, strangely enough, they were far outside of their jurisdiction. We were like almost an hour outside of Montreal. Like we were just at the border of Ontario. Oh, not the border, the boundary of Ontario and Quebec.
And so then, Mike, instead of going all the way back to Toronto, you just stayed overnight in Ontario, and then you got to come in today, Saturday. Why wasn't there a blockade today? What, is the virus over now?
We came through Gatineau, and there was no problem. There was no we weren't stopped, and everything was fine. And we came out to Montreal.
You know, Mike, to me this speaks of the insanity. This is all ostensibly being done in the name of public safety to stop infections. But so if you go one route, you're stopped. If you go another route, you're not stopped. Myself and my crew, we came by air. So apparently the Wuhan virus doesn't mind if you fly into another province. It just cares if you drive it. Mike, does this make sense to you?
It didn't, and they were only stopping drivers with Ontario plates, that, as far as I could see. So it just, none of this makes any sense.
Well, folks, I'm with Guy Lacroix. He is a city councillor here in Montreal. And Guy, tell me, how many people on city council support a demonstration like this? Obviously you do, because you're here, but what is the mood on council?
I'm not sure. Maybe there is, I don't know in Quebec. I know about 5-6 person who support this manifestation, but I'm not sure exactly. I don't know a lot.
Okay, and tell me, what has been the effect of the lockdown for more than a year on Montreal in terms of businesses going bankrupt, people being unemployed? Has this city been hard hit?
Oh yeah, it's very hard for business. It's hard for the moral, the morale des gens. It's very hard for everything. We don't need to put it in lockdown because we have remèdes précoces, des traitements précoces. You know what I mean? The treatment like chloroquine, like ivermectin. We have colchicine. So we have everything to help to go out of this crisis.
Well, folks, I'm with Dan Pilon. He is the co-organizer of this demonstration here in Montreal today. And Dan, what message are you trying to send to the elected representatives in Quebec today?
We are just exhausted, tired of all those sanitary measures. We are not anti-vax. We are pro-choice. We respect the choice of everybody. But here in Quebec, our main problem, it seems that we are the only area in the whole North America that we have the couvre-feu. So at 8 o'clock, at 9:30, we need to be at home. It's completely ridiculous.
Because evidently the virus can tell the time, right?
Exactly. And personally, I have a big problem to see the kids with the mask in the face. So there's nothing scientific that prove that it can help. We are actually programming the kids. I really don't like what's going on. And I have the impression that they want to maintain us in the terror to sell more and more and more vaccine. Like I say, we are pro-choice. People who want to be vaccinated, they will be vaccinated. They can stop right now all these measures. People are suffering, okay? There are suicides. There are the business which close day after day. The people are alone. They need help. And the main media, they hide all this reality. And congratulations to media like yours, which say the truth. Honestly, it's really fantastic to be able to communicate to everybody who still asleep. There are people who they take advantage of the fact that people, they just want to be good citizens. They want to be good citizens, and they abuse of that.
Well, folks, I bumped into Bob here at the Montreal demonstration, and he moved from Poland 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
And you know, I got to tell you, Bob, you were saying things off camera that made me reminisce about so many of the people that I meet at anti-lockdown demonstrations that are from the former Soviet Union or the Eastern Bloc nations, and they tend to be the most passionate about what's happening to our rights and freedoms because you've seen this happen in your country.
We went through it. We know what's going on, and the people have to wake up. If not, well, the same thing will happen here. What was in Poland 54 years ago, and we had a revolution in '81, and then a whole East Bloc collapsed. But communism is already here. We can see whatever they do, the lockdowns and masks and all this. This is communism. It's a first step, and if we don't wake up, if we will not wake up, it's going to be a disaster.
When it comes to the mainstream media, I mean, in a way, can you blame them for not following the government narrative because the government is paying them so many millions these days?
Exactly. And Trudeau is bold about it. He said in an interview that they cannot talk against me because I pay them. It's like mafia. You go to a store, a restaurant, and you say, I will protect you. It's $3,000 per month.
That's
okay?
Right.
You ask, against who? Against us. It's mafia politics.
Well, folks, the demonstration and the march have wrapped up. It's about just after 3 o'clock. Some estimates peg the number of people here at 100,000. Can you imagine? And it was a joyous occasion. People were exercising their right to freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, and I'm afraid to report that just before things got started, the Montreal Police Service, well, I guess they have their quota to fill, don't they? They actually arrested a few people, arbitrarily it appears, for not wearing a mask. Here, check out this horrible footage. I guess what we learned today is that Quebecers are not going down without a fight when it comes to their freedom. But the police, well, that's going to be one of the roadblocks in their way. They're still handing out these crazy tickets for not wearing a mask, for congregating in numbers greater than 10, for going out at night after 8 p.m. because, as we all know, the Wuhan virus can tell the time now, it seems.
What happened to your son?
They said he was not wearing a mask, and they grabbed him. The four of them grabbed him and shot him to the floor and hold him like as if he was George Floyd. That's how I thought they were going to kill him. And then I was trying.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's terrible. They're pathetic traitors. Like, they're disgusting. Hey,
no.
If you go to fightthefines.com.
I will, of course, we're going to fight the fine.
Are you going to break it or what?
But for now, it is a festive atmosphere. It's all about Quebecers embracing their rights and freedoms in numbers too big to ignore. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
C'est quoi t'as à nous faire dire?
But I don't.
C'est quoi t'as à nous faire dire? Pourquoi t'as un micro en ce moment?
Why you have a mic?
Why you have a mic? Why you have a mic?
Oh, I'm a reporter. I'm reporting on this.
And when did you have to ask us? What did you want to ask us?
Oh, well, listen, what brings you out here today, sir?
May we all there because we all want to change. We all want something better for everyone in this world, tu comprends? Parce que là, il y a trop d'inégalité, too much, not enough freedom, you know? There's too many people that dying from not eating, not drinking, you know? And it's important to everyone to have to know that we can be all equal in this world. Tu comprends?
No, I think you're right. I think the so-called cure is worse than the curse. Are you worried about being ticketed by the Montreal police?
No, because the police not allowed to just took you aux gens and put you the manette on it. They're not allowed to bring you in a jail for nothing. We're all free. We're not there to break everything. We're not there to kill people. We're there to make a change, you know? And people have to, police have to understand that we're there for the right thing, not for the bad thing. Yeah.
Hey folks, here we are again in Montreal reporting on the situation in Premier Legault's Quebec, where one dare not leave the house at 9:30. Oh, what am I saying? 8 p.m. because of the curfew. But you know what? Doing this reporting means that we have bills to pay. If you can help us out in terms of paying those bills, go to lockdownreports.com, and get the stories that the mainstream media dares not report on.